Hi, Tara. My name's Robin Mountain, and my last name in Zulu is Ntaba. That's where we get Ntaba Coffee House. And I immigrated to America, my wife and I, with our children in 1999. I specialize in artificial insemination of honey queen bees. I know, that's what most people say. But I ran a very large queen bee breeding operation in California, loved what I did and did what I loved. And then I was offered a teaching position at Kentucky State University, which I took up. And I enjoyed what I did, and it was during that time that we started our safari company called Ntaba African Safaris. And where I actually summited Kilimanjaro 3 times. My eldest son, who has the Mountain Fit and Wellness Center just behind us here, joined me the first time, and my daughter joined me the last time that I climbed. And we really thought that our business was going to go off in the adventure mode, which it didn't. We've had the privilege of taking the University of Louisville's alumni to South Africa with us 4 times already. And Stella is president of the company, and I'm sure you'd love to have something to say.
I know, and this is going to go on for a while, so let me just jump in here and say that Robin and Stella own this absolutely gorgeous coffee house, and he stole my cup of coffee. I just want you to know that right up front.
Oh my gosh, Robin. How could you do that?
Where's mine?
We'll have some just now.
I got to tell you, I stop at coffee houses all over this town because I'm constantly on the go, and I really honestly have to say, this is the best coffee I have tasted in a very long time. And I don't know what it is that's special, so maybe now that Robin has taken up the first 3 minutes to himself, you can tell us, Stella. Tell us about this coffee, my gosh.
Yes, well, it's got a story to it. The
I
whole
want to hear it.
Why we started the coffee house in any case, but this is African coffee. We only have African coffee in our coffee house. We get the green beans, import the green beans from Africa, and we actually roast them in-house. So I think what really makes it such great coffee is we choose grade A beans. We only buy the best beans that we can get. We just feel that quality is really important. So that's number one. The second one, it's fresh coffee. This was roasted just last week.
Keep going, I'm going to lower this just a tiny. There you go.
It was just roasted recently and freshly brewed. So the big thing with coffee, it's fresh. And I think that's what sets us apart in this place.
I love it. So tell me about the cookies too, because thank God he hasn't gotten into the cookies yet.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
You're eating a gluten-free cookie, and that's my cookie.
Oh no! Here's your cookie. Right here.
In fact, what's really cool is the end of this week we're getting our own pastry chef coming in. Tara Fullion. Tara is an American lady married to a South African guy.
Another Tara?
Another Tara.
You're kidding
That's what
me.
I was saying to you. Yeah,
That's hysterical.
And she is a qualified pastry chef, and she is going to be working with us. We're actually opening another 2 branches, one in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and one in Frankfort, Kentucky. And so this is where we're going to be roasting the coffee for the 3 coffee houses.
Cool.
And we're in the process of getting our franchise going as well. And
that's exciting.
It seems very fast for only being open for 3 months, but we have had so many people wanting to, I'd almost say, perpetuate what we have started.
I love it.
You know, there are so many South Africans within and around the USA. And
who knew how many were in Louisville?
Exactly.
You have a big community of South African expatriates here.
We actually had a very lovely evening on Saturday evening. We had our Indian evening. We have a lot of South African Indians living in America, in Louisville, and then a lot of Indians from India. And these guys have never really met each other.
How cool.
And it was such a beautiful evening. There's a lovely Indian family. Sunny is from Botswana and married a local American lady. And it was just a wonderful evening. This coming weekend, this coming weekend, we're having a braai, a South African braai, where we are going to be barbecuing boerewors, which is a South African sausage. And it's a $10 cover charge to come in and come and experience the South African hospitality.
You are having so much fun. This is so much more than just a coffee house.
Exactly,
Oh, yes,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
This is who is watching. First of all, your dear friend Linda Herrick Hillenbrand, who posts about this place every day on Facebook.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
wonderful
And Taba
darling.
Coffee House, Matt Glazer of Luvello, Beth Leffler-Singler's watching, Brad Leedy from Bridgehaven, Jeannie Case, Keith Bernauer, Pamela Uselton. Linda says best coffee ever and best owners too.
Ah, thank you, Linda.
Good job, Linda. Tom Boone's watching, Kyle Duncan, Michael Fulkerson, Luann Smith, Teresa Hanks, Lee Chotner, Bill Milby, Brenda Davison, Beth Weddington. Thanks for tuning in to Take It From Tara. I decided to do a Tuesday afternoon version of fun because I met these two yesterday. I stopped in for a cup of coffee and they just happened to be here. And what a delight it is to, first of all, to listen to your beautiful voices because
Thank you,
the sound is just so mellifluous. You sound great. Secondly, you really know what you're doing, and you've set up here not only a coffee house but a gathering place and a store. So, Stella, tell us about some of the things that you have that we've just put out on display here.
Well, these are all products that we have imported from South Africa, and that's another part. We originally, can I tell you how we started this whole thing?
Please.
We started in Taba African Safaris, and that was really what we ran for a long time, 15 years now. But then in 2015, Robin had helped a lady promote. She started this company, and we bought it from her, and it just was a good fit for us to have African products, South African products, because people would travel with us. They would come back and say, "Where can I get this delicious food?"
Amazing.
Like the chutneys and the fruit juices and the Oma rusks. So that's when we started the Taste of Africa. At that stage, it was only an online store. And so we had the Taste of Africa, and then we started with the coffee. So the natural thing was just to combine it all together and start the coffee house. But the products that we import are all made in South Africa. We've decided to bring products in that when we came as immigrants, we were just so homesick, and we wanted things that taste good, that we were familiar with, and those are the products that we've got. Now, one product that we do not import from South Africa, but which is made locally by South Africans, is the biltong and the boerewors, and sausage, dry droewors we call it. It's a dry sausage.
What is it? Okay, so what do we do with it? Air-dried sliced beef steak.
Yes.
So what is it? Just like jerky?
It's
Are we eating it like jerky?
Yes, but it's different. I don't know how to explain the difference.
The difference between this and jerky, we only use salt, pepper, and coriander seed. That's all we use in it. Whereas jerky, you'll put sugar and other spices with it.
That's cool.
We let the meat be its own spice. The sausage is the same thing. So, we do not, of course, import beef from South Africa, because it's illegal.
Yeah.
But we have South African butchers who make it for us. What's really nice with the appetizer, that's a natural fruit drink from South Africa, as well as
apple juice, red grape juice, and white grape juice.
And for anybody who's not who doesn't drink alcohol, it's great to put that in a champagne glass, and you look just as fancy as everybody else.
That would be me.
And
Can I try one of these?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Do we shake it up, or do we just?
No.
No, you don't.
I'm just teasing you.
And something that's really great that we are not that well known for yet, but we have the best tea in Louisville, the best rooibos tea.
Oh, I love this.
We
I
are
love
the only coffee shop or tea shop in Louisville that has such a wide range of rooibos tea.
That's awesome.
This is a red tea which is naturally caffeine-free from South Africa. We also have a very good black tea, which one of the commercial names is Five Roses, but we also serve tea in our shop as well. We serve some really lovely rooibos latte, which is great fun as well.
That's so cool. So you could have high tea here in the afternoon. People start to get hungry at work, after work. They come in 4 or 5 o'clock, have a little high tea, a little snack. Now, where are you getting the cookies right now? Because you're getting a pastry chef to come in full time.
Correct. We're getting them from a friend of my daughter's who bakes them in a commercial kitchen and brings them in. And that was a great way to get started. It was a great way. Carly is the young lady, and it's, as I say, we're now progressing as we're growing. Another very exciting thing is we're applying for our alcohol license. So we're going to be serving South African wine in the evenings, And this is where Tara is coming in. We're going to be
The other Tara.
The other Tara.
Yeah, the other
Not
time.
to be confused with this Tara.
One of the dishes we're going to be making is a quiche. We'll make a boerewors quiche. Boerewors is one of the South African sausages that we make.
Wonderful.
And we'll also make a biltong quiche. So just something different in the evening. And really, this has become a place of when I started it, I said it's a place where characters are coming to meet characters.
Absolutely.
And this is what it's about, yeah.
Well, we know Linda Herrick Hillenbrand is a character, that's for sure.
Oh, yes.
So we want to thank Debbie Clark Gober, Michelle Lawson, Sunny Howell, Melanie Armstrong. Hey, buddy. Dennis Miller, Jarena Faulkner. Jarena, you're a psychic. Tell us what you think the future is of this Entaba Coffee House. Navina Harold, Tracy Sprouse, Deanna Davis, Ellen Elizabeth Jones is watching. Rich Horning, attorney at law. Thank you so much for tuning in, sir. And Christina Bevins Emmerich is just tuning in too. So a great group of folks watching this afternoon from Entaba Coffee House. We're at the corner of Brownsboro Road, literally at the end of Ewing. So if you know where the Beverage World, Wine and Spirits, and Domino's are, this is the old Pizza Hut building. Because we in Louisville, I don't know if you're aware of this, identify everything by things that aren't there anymore.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we say it's by the old Sears building, which closed in 1975. And that's that St. Matthew's building where the Dollar Tree is. Or it's by the old White Castle, which is the Eclipse Bank in St. Matthew's
I
now.
love it, I love
This
it.
is the old Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
anyway,
I think
that's
we've
it.
always been known as that. Yeah.
Exactly, but you guys have done a tremendous amount of work in this building. I'm so impressed. It was a tough time because when you go from a pizza place to a coffee house, you've got a lot of work to do. A lot of moving of walls, a lot of moving of changing and plumbing and everything else. The place is sparkling. It's beautiful. It's just really inviting. The colors are very warm and welcoming. I love the fact that you've got our flags, both of our flags, the American flag and the South African flag in the windows. The artwork is just glorious, and it's just everything about it. And this food, you got to tell us a little bit about this chutney recipe, because chutney's a big deal in Kentucky. But this is South African chutney.
South African chutney, correct,
I
yeah.
love that.
It is, absolutely.
What makes it taste a little bit different? What gives it its flavor?
Well, probably because it's fresh South African fruit. None of the fruit in that was imported from anywhere else but South Africa. I love it when people say to me, "Well, what percentage of your profits go back to Africa?" And then I say, somebody was
amazing.
paid to plant the peaches. Somebody was paid to harvest the peaches. So as we say, we are proudly South African. And of course, we won the World Cup rugby this last weekend.
Oh
so
my gosh, I know, that was exciting.
This place was rocking and rolling. We had about 20 South Africans in here, including my eldest son, who has the distinction of the first rugby game he ever played as a little boy. He scored a try.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And he was here on Saturday as well. So it was just a great get together of a lot of South Africans. And you know what I love to say, when people look at us as a South African, the first thing that comes up is color. And what I usually do is I'll point to our flag and say that's the color of a South African.
Isn't that
It's
amazing?
just beautiful, and I think we have a lot to show the world.
Yeah, red, white, blue, and green.
Exactly.
Pretty cool. And yellow.
And that's who we are. Yeah.
Good
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about this. This is really good stuff.
Do you like it?
100% white grape juice called Grape Tizer or Grape Teaser.
Tizer, yeah.
Grape Tizer. Great opportunity for folks who don't drink alcohol to come in and enjoy the fun, even though alcoholic beverages will be served, which will be a lot of fun because then you can, apply to a lot of different audiences here. What is this? Buttermilk?
It's what they call a rusk, and Oma means grandma. Okay, this was a brand that started in South Africa many years ago. You can see the old oven that she uses, and a rusk is what the Italians call a biscotti. You dunk that in your tea or your coffee in the morning.
Oh, cool.
Now I'm actually gluten free, but I start my everyday off with a rusk
Very
in my coffee.
gluten-free.
As I say, you can tell a South African when they walk in or out of the store, they will have a box of rusks and they will walk out.
That's hysterical. Linda says, if anyone wants to learn about a safari, tomorrow at 6. Tell us about that.
Yes.
Yeah, Linda, it's great. I'm doing a presentation tomorrow for Linda and a group of her friends and anybody who would like to join us.
Awesome.
About doing a safari to Africa in 2020.
A photography safari, I'm assuming.
Yes, absolutely. We don't do hunting.
The only shooting I do is of what you see up there.
The photographs of the
I
animals.
shoot with a Nikon 7200, and that's
Cool.
it. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
And I'm looking forward to taking you, Tara.
Oh my God! I haven't been there for many, many years, but that sounds like fun. Judy Foster, animal rescuer extraordinaire. Good thing you just heard that. It's a photography safari.
Only.
Lisa Smalley, Daniel Ellis, Arthur Miller, Linda Votaw, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. On this afternoon, take it from Tara, a beautiful day. I met Robin and Stella, and they have this beautiful place called Intaba Coffee House at the top of the hill. It's literally like on this little hill at the bottom of Ewing on Brownsboro Road. It's a great stopping place from downtown to the East End. A lot of traffic going by. Quick stop for a snack or for things like this presentation on safari, which is going to be so much fun. You were telling me yesterday about how lonely it can be if you're South African in the United States on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes.
Talk to me about how you're solving that problem.
Well, we've had, out of experience, we don't have any family here except for our own children. So Americans have been very good to include us into their Thanksgivings, but we know that there are many South Africans who don't have family, and it can be bitterly lonely. Thanksgiving and Christmas can be a really lonely, depressing time in a way. And so we've decided to do something about that, and we are going to open our coffee house to people who have no family, who have got a South African root somehow or another. And it doesn't need to be only South African. We have met people who are from Namibia and Malawi. There are Africans, many Africans in Louisville, which is amazing. You know what has been such a privilege for us is to meet all these local people here in Louisville that we never knew of. Anyway, but that's what we're going to do.
Friendsgiving.
Yes, really.
It's going to be
bring a dish and share.
And
just be together.
I love that. So if you're South African in some way and you have had, or African in some way and have had the opportunity to come here, but your family's back home and you'd like to join some of your compatriots, this would be a great place to do it. And that's going to actually be on Christmas night?
On Christmas Day.
Christmas Day?
And
cool.
Thanksgiving Day as well.
Oh my God, that's going to be
Christmas
fabulous.
Eve we'll spend with our little family.
Is it a potluck?
It'll be a potluck.
Everybody's going to bring their food. That's great.
Bring something.
Food,
We'll have tea and coffee available, but it's just a great time. A great time because a lot of us Africans, as I say, Africa is a continent. A lot of us Africans do not celebrate Thanksgiving. It's an American. So we have a lovely family from Angola who joined us for the Indian evening.
That's
the
so
sweetest
cool.
family from Angola. It just when we are Africans, we are true Africans. We are African Americans, and it's our privilege to be able to reach out to other Africans. Are we not reaching out to Americans? Of course not. Okay, but there are so many Africans who just need that African love.
Absolutely, I love that. So, tell me about this drink because you've got guava, mango, and lychee. Talk to us about what it is about this particular kind of a juicy drink that you guys are selling here that's going to set it apart from the rest.
What I love about it is it's got no preservatives to it. It's got no preservatives to it, and the only sweetening it has been used is using other juices to sweeten it. So it's got a high fructose content, which is fruit sugars, but it's got zero cane sugar in it.
Oh, good.
And
all natural.
And so in summer, this is a great drink to put with ice. Even if you're making a punch, it's a great drink. But just as far as health goes, it's 100% juice blend.
That's nice.
I mean, and it's not from south of the border. It's not. We know the farmers who grew it.
I don't know a lot of people know what a lychee is. Tell us about these lychee nuts.
Well, I don't know. Can I get that up to the camera?
Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's a good one.
How does one explain a lychee? It's a hard nut with a maybe somebody will tell us on there.
Yeah.
It's a hard nut with a soft white flesh around it. So it's got a hard pip or stone to it, and it's got almost like a spiky shell to it. But it's very, very sweet. And this lychees are an Asian. And they come from Asia. They're now grown in Southern Africa. I'm sure we do get lychees in America.
I think it's almost like a horse chestnut. It's got a really tough outer hide, right? You said a spiky kind of shell.
Yeah.
Or porcupine.
but you can see it's a very thin, it's a thin shell.
Very thin
Yeah.
shell. That's very
And
cool.
honestly, it's a sweet drink, but it's got
Yeah.
no sugar added to it.
Yeah,
which is-
and they grow on, it's almost like a bunch of grapes, but with longer twigs on it.
How
and,
cool.
Yeah, on a tree. Yeah.
That's very
So it's
interesting.
really-
I like
yeah.
that. So that's it's called Sarah's
Series.
Yeah.
series. Okay,
Yes.
Which is
good.
an area
Beautiful.
just outside Cape Town. That's where
Yeah.
our wine is going to be coming from. Ceres,
Yeah.
Robertson area.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Correct.
So when you, Todd Abel, thanks for joining in. Melissa Garrett, Rebecca Lohmeyer, Holly Coulter, Stacy Floden, thanks guys for tuning in. We're at the Intaba Coffee House at the end of Ewing at Brownsboro Road right here in Clifton. And Robin and Stella, the owners from South Africa, who are creating this really cool environment. You know, it's got, there are some sofa-like chairs, there are some high tables, there are some low tables, and there's an environment that just is conducive to gathering and having fun and socializing. And I think that's one of the cool things about it is that, you know, you've got the opportunity to come meet new people, learn new things, talk about stuff that you may not ever have the opportunity to talk about. You know, and we were talking yesterday about, you know, when I was a child, hey, Megan Harlow, I traveled all around the world and sang USO with Bob Hope. And that, of course, doesn't mean anything to anybody under the age of 50, but that's okay. And in Africa, we had New Year's Eve in Johannesburg. I think it was 1974, and my parents and I disco danced the night away in this beautiful disco, and it was so much fun. And I remember what a beautiful town it was at the time.
Well, I tell you just a lovely dancing story. I was in Cape Town about 2 years ago, down on the waterfront, and there was a lady, obviously, she was on her own, but I saw her, she was kind of swaying to the music, and I went up to her and I said, ma'am, may I just dance with you? We just danced around for almost 20, 30 minutes.
That's so
and
cute.
I didn't know her from Adam. And at the end to just say, thank you, ma'am. And, you know, that is the spirit we have in South Africa. Yeah, of course we do have our problems, okay? But I mean, that is South Africa, you know. When we go on safari, just the privileges we have, you know, of seeing animals, you know, seeing the full circle of life. Seeing lion, you know, you don't see a beautiful lion without a carcass of another animal. You know, to see animals being born. I've seen many animals being born. And just that privilege of it. One thing we do, and this is where we got the color scheme here as well in the shop, was we watch the sun, we listen to the sunset in Africa. And people say to me,
And there it is, right out that window.
and people say to me, what does it sound like? I say, come and listen. But we really do. We stop. We actually stop. We have what we call a sundowner. That's what we're going to call our evening drink time. We're going to call it sundowner, because that's what we do in Africa. We actually stop, and we say thank you. Two beautiful words in Zulu is the word for east and the word for west. Now, the province that Stella and I came from when we immigrated. In fact, my name was on the ballot. I ran against Nelson Mandela's party, the ANC.
Wow.
In the 94 elections, I ran for the ACDP. Now, the province that I ran in is called Mpumalanga. Mpuma means to rise. Ilanga is the sun. Now, so the eastern part of South Africa is where the sun comes up, like everywhere else.
Cool.
So Mpumalanga. The opposite is the west. It's Ushonalanga. Ushonile means to die. It's beautiful how the Zulus have given the sun a human aspect, because with a human being, when somebody dies, you say ushonile, but when a dog dies, you say ufila. So it's just beautiful how we as Africans just embrace each other's cultures.
That's beautiful. Well, and it's a perfect view right out here. The sun sinks slowly into the west. I came from Oregon. So every night,
Beautiful.
when the sun would set, we would listen to it, and I understand exactly what you're saying, because it's just like,
Exactly.
we just watched it sink
It
below
really
the ocean. You could see, we had a beach house that looked right out over the Pacific. So what a beautiful, beautiful imagery. Glenn Farquhar just tuned in. Melody Stacy's here. Norma Aubrey. Arthur Miller says, looks cozy. It is. And I'm just thinking about how beautiful it's going to be when the snow is on the ground,
Me too.
which can't be too far away,
Exactly.
considering
I
how
think
cold
it's
it is. But I can just imagine how pretty it's going to be to sit here and watch as the cars skid down Ewing and turn that curve there, and then when their cars stall out and they can't get up the hill, they'll just come back up here to Intaba Coffee House and have a delicious hot cup of coffee. I love the bar. I love what you guys have done with the place, as they say. But I love the bar, and I love the fact that you can walk all the way back into the back, and you have a little room set up which has all of these on display. And I want to talk a little bit about the candy bars too, because these look really good. So Dairy Milk, Top Deck Mint, this Bourneville Classic Dark Chocolate, and then
The little kid is
Jelly Tots. Is this something that South African kids love? Is it something like an M&M, but it's a gummy bear?
It's
or
a gummy
what?
bear.
That's
It's
it,
a
yeah.
gummy bear
How
with
adorable.
cane sugar. Yeah.
Very,
Round
very
trees.
popular.
And it's fun. What I'll
Jelly
often do when I have a family coming with kids, I'll just go and get a packet off and give it to the kid. You know, especially a South African kid, that face just lights up like, wow, I got jelly tots.
This is so fun. So I didn't mean it for it to be a grocery segment, but you know, I just figure it's fun to show, besides the coffee, besides the tea, besides the snacks that you're going to be able to have and the delicious new fresh baked pastry coming this week, you also have the opportunity to take some of this fun stuff home with you and be able to enjoy just a little bit of a taste of South Africa. So talk to me about your schedule. When you're open, it seems like you're open more hours than a lot of places, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And you have not had a chance to say very much, Stella, so I want you to, you've been talking on the phone a lot. I know your voice is tired. I feel the same way, but tell me a little bit about, you know, what you would like to say that you haven't gotten a chance to say about Intaba and how you welcome the folks who are coming in here.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say our office hours, or not office hours, but the coffee house hours, we open Mondays to Fridays at 7:30. We close at 6. So that's a good time of the day.
Yeah, that's a big day.
Yeah,
it's
it
a long
is,
day.
Yeah. Then on Saturdays we open at 8, close by 5. And on Sundays we're from 9 to 4. So we're open 7 days a week, during the times when most people would like to grab a cup of coffee. And it was important for us to also open on the weekends.
Yes.
Because I think that's when people want to just get out, have
That's
time
right,
to
just have
relax.
fun.
And we've actually, you know, our weeks are really busy because Mondays to Fridays is really a lot of safari, safari business that we're busy with full time. But
Do you actually coordinate safaris all year long?
all year round
for people to travel to?
Absolutely.
Tell me how we
yes.
go. Do we fly out of here and go somewhere and then fly to Africa, or do we go straight out of Louisville?
No, you need to come. Louisville, you'll either fly to Atlanta,
Okay.
and then you can take Delta Airlines. They've got a direct flight from Atlanta to Johannesburg.
Oh my gosh.
What we do most, book most of our clients on is South African Airways, because you start feeling the South African spirit on the flight already.
That's excellent.
They have gateways out of Washington, D.C. and out of JFK. So those are the two gateways, but we can arrange your flights from Louisville. So we can get you on the airplane here in Louisville, book you to DC, and then down to South Africa.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So those are the ways to go, and it's great. It's absolutely wonderful.
How long does it take to get there?
experience.
18 hours?
No, it's
Not
about
that long?
14.
Yeah,
14?
it's 14 to 6.
Planes used to fly slower in the 1970s. But that's a long trip. That's all the way. That's across the world.
It's
It's
a
in the
long
southern
trip, yeah.
hemisphere.
It
It's the
is.
tip of Africa, and it's
But it's a large plane. It's a 747.
yes.
What I like about South African Airways, they have a 242 configuration.
Oh, good.
So it makes it a lot more
Yeah.
comfortable than
Yeah.
Delta,
That's nice.
333.
Yeah.
But in spite of doing South Africa, we also do East Africa. I'm leading groups next year in the gorillas and the chimpanzees,
Wow.
as well as the Great Migration. I'm taking people there. We also take people to Ethiopia. Ethiopia was one of the reasons why I'm in coffee. Okay.
I bet.
And then we also do Morocco, Ghana, and Senegal. So
So you're just superb travel agents, is what you are. You guys are planners like
Well, you know,
nobody that you can imagine.
But again, you know, we're not going to take you to somewhere that we haven't been ourselves. We
Right.
have incredibly strong networks.
Yeah.
I used to lead every single group that we had. I physically cannot do that anymore, so I've got wonderful guides throughout Southern and East Africa. So,
Excellent.
you know, we don't send you to Africa, we take you to Africa.
I love that. Alan Jenkins toned in, Joseph Williams. Linda says, come tomorrow night, Tara, and learn more, and come with us in 2021. Oh, Linda's going on the safari in 2021. That's pretty cool. Sheila Bishop, June Kelly Roy, Amanda Ratliff, Brad Harmon, Becky Strife, Julia Hoagland, thank you guys for all tuning in. This is such a fun day. I'm enjoying being here so much because I'm going to get all sugared up and liquored up here with coffee and non-alcoholic white grape juice sparkling, and I've had my cookie, and I'm just waiting to dig into some of this other stuff. But if you want to come into Intaba, it's so easy to get here. You can take Brownsboro Road from either direction. You can come Frankfurt Avenue and come down Ewing, which is right at Walgreens, the center of the universe in Crescent Hill. And Intaba is open every single day of the week, and you really will enjoy, I swear, this coffee is out of this world.
Well, we roasted right here.
Oh my God, that's what they were doing just a minute ago when we heard the noise, right? They were roasting it. They were grinding it.
But you know, we roast our coffee fresh here. What I'm very excited about are our Saturday and Sunday brunches.
Oh,
We're going to
really?
be doing a really lovely brunch menu. Give me a week or two to get Tara, my chef Tara, going on it. But if you want 2 eggs and 3 slices of bacon, you'll get that. So you know, the word house, H-A-U-S, is the German for more than just a home. It's a homely home, and when people come in here, we say welcome home.
Yes.
And you know, you'll get your eggs like you want them.
It sounds like fun. Just give me an idea for those who are now getting their interest piqued about going on a safari.
Yes.
If we wanted to do a photo safari to South Africa, and we wanted to fly and get the full experience on South African Airlines, give me a ballpark figure of what people need to start thinking about to save up for that trip. How much is it going to cost a person?
I would say between $6,000 and $7,000.
$6,000 and $7,000. And how many days?
14 days.
A 2-week tour?
A 2-week tour, exactly.
Across the world. That's incredible.
You won't go to Hawaii for that. And I will be guiding Linda's group, and we'd love to put a group together. We've taken, like I mentioned, the University of Louisville's alumni. We've taken them 4 times.
Love that.
They've done the gorillas with us too, the gorillas and the migration.
Okay, here's the key question now for those of you who are trivia experts. Who is one of the world's foremost gorilla experts who was born in Louisville, Kentucky, and died a tragic death in Rwanda, the mountains of the gorillas in the mist? Do we know the answer to that question? Do you know the answer to that question, Stella?
Yes.
Do you know the answer to that question,
I do.
Robin? Anybody want to guess? Let's see if anybody types it in. Terry Miller's tuned in. Greg Nichols just got here. Tammy Cox, I'm going to give it away because it's Gorillas in the Mist, Diane Fossey.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And you know, I got to interview Sigourney Weaver when she did that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, did you ever get to come to Louisville to research Diane Fossey, the role she played? And she said, there just wasn't a lot of time. And I said, well, you're going to have to come and visit Louisville and hear the people who knew her, because there still are people alive who were, you know, associated with her in some way. And what a fascinating story. Mary Kay Corfage just joined in. I have lots of animal rescuers on my show.
Okay, good.
Because that's what I do.
Let me tell you a lovely story about animal rescuers. We're working with the Chimp Project.
That's
out
cool.
Out of McKaysville, North Carolina, Georgia. We were there 2 weekends ago, and we're putting a group together for the Chimp Project, and we are doing the chimps in Uganda and the gorillas as well.
Yeah.
In the end of next year, in September next year. So
And tell me what the Chimp Project is.
the Chimp Project is, it sounds terrible to say, but it is bad Americans' judgment being made better, because we were the last signatory on the protocol to stop using chimpanzees for medical research.
Testing.
And there are about
testing.
700 chimps in the USA right now. And Chimp Project is one of them. In fact, we have a Chimp Project here in south of Lexington.
Wow.
I wouldn't say a project, but a chimp program. But it's beautiful to see. This was a facility that a gentleman had built for a gorilla. His wife wanted a gorilla, so he built a beautiful facility for her to have a gorilla. But anyway, it's been given to the Chimp Project.
Wow.
And you can simply research it by going to chimpproject.org, I think it is, ORG.
Yeah.
And Ali is in fact writing a book, and she's going to launch the book with the group that I'll be leading to the chimps and to the gorillas. I personally had the privilege of walking with the chimps, and it is one of the most amazing experiences. The gorillas are just as well. Stella has done the gorillas with me, as well as I say, the University of Louisville's alumni.
Yeah.
And it is a privilege that it's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
In fact, we are running a trip next year to do the gorillas and the Great Migration in Tanzania. So that is happening in September, end
And
of
they've still got some space, do
September.
you?
We still have
Yeah.
space.
Oh,
Still space,
wow.
Yeah, it's filling up, but we still have some space, and that's
That's
an
excellent.
experience of a lifetime.
I bet it
really
is. I bet it is. That's so
Yes.
cool. So come and welcome our new neighbors, Robin and
Thank you.
Stella.
Please
They're
do.
here at Intaba Coffee House, high atop the hill at the bottom of Ewing at Brownsboro Road. A beautiful location. The sun is going to sizzle into the sunset here in just a few minutes. And you can still come in for a beautiful cup of coffee. As I go up here, say hi, Karen Hendren. Linda Hara-Killenbrand says, agree. Tammy loved Gorillas in the Mist. Tina Mola is watching. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. We appreciate you. And when I go up here to turn off my camera, I want you guys to tell me the hours when people can come in and about tomorrow night. Go.
Right, the hours are Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 6. Weekends 8 to 5, and tomorrow evening Linda is going to be inviting some of her friends, and all of you are welcome to come and join us tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
We're doing an Africa presentation. Thank you so much.